Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the DiLisio Factor. I'm Mike DiLisio, and I'm coming to you live from the Dice Tower Midwest Annex here in near Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'm very excited today to spend a little bit of time with all of you folks. And let's take a look in the chat here and see if there's any concerns, any video or audio problems that we've got going on today. Let's take a look. I see a little bit of hello. I see a little bit of woo-hoo coming from Loopy. Oh, that's way too small. There we go. That's a little better. That's a little better. We got to see the hard-earned wrench in all of its glory there, Loopy. Yeah, got you loud and clear. Okay, it's very sharp, Mike Keller says. And, look, I didn't want to be the one to say it. I'll let Violet Frog be the voice of the people. Dapper. Well, let me tell you, I don't want to get too much into my personal hygienic routine, folks, but I did. And why am I staring at the microphone? Hey! I don't want to get too much into my personal... See, I'm so used to podcasting now. I'm looking at the microphone. Because when I'm podcasting, I want to look anywhere but at Dan Hughes. So I focus my attention on the microphone. But here, you lovely people, I want to focus this on you. So yesterday, I did get a haircut. Because Monday, leaving to Essen, Germany with a bunch of the Dice Tower crew. And so very much looking forward to that. And I'm also looking forward to today. So, all right. Yeah. Okay. Everything's looking good. Look, this is fantastic. All right, so today on the DiLisio Factor, we're going to be playing a game called Unreliable Wizard with the Unstable Spirits expansion. So I've actually wanted to play this game here on the DiLisio Factor for quite a while because I've had the game for a while, but I held off even before I knew about what's happening with it. I held off because I thought, I don't want to introduce this game to too many people, and they're going to have a very difficult time getting a hold of it, because I have covered games that have come from other countries, and specifically I've covered other games from Japan, among other places, but they've always been a bit more manageable to get hold of. You might still have to jump through some hoops and go through a forwarding service or whatever, but this particular game was very, very difficult to get a hold of. It was a very small indie publication, and it came to me in this little bag, and it was obviously obtainable because I was able to get it through a forwarding service, but that's a little bit more difficult than saying, hey, go on Amazon Japan. But very exciting news, as you can see here. This is now being brought to English and Spanish-speaking languages through Salt and Pepper Games. It's actually on GameFound right now. So if this is something that is of interest to you, then you still have time. I think it's going on for even more than a week from now. But this is a game that I reviewed on the channel, although I have not reviewed the expansion yet. And I like it. I like it a lot. It's one of my top solo games of all time, honestly. And we'll see. I mean, obviously it may appeal to you, it may not, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to show it off here. It is a solo-only game. It's not one that you can play, cooperatively with others. I mean, I suppose you could, but no, this is really a solo game, right? Let me take a quick look at the chat here and see if there's anything else here. Great Q&A, Chris, earlier today. Not even, 2 hours ago. Scant 2 hours ago. Chris had a lovely Q&A. And so I think I see many of you back from the chat there. So good to see you back. And let's go into Unreliable Wizard. All right, so I'm going to cut here to the table in a moment. Let me find my cursor. Here we go. Let's cut to the table. Let's cut to the chase. All right. Here you see Unreliable Wizard set up on the table. Now, again, this is the expansion that you're seeing right here. Many of the cards carry over from the base game. So many of the cards that you see here are coming from the base game, and then you will add some cards, take some out to play with the expansion. And so one of the differences is that in this game, the map is made up of 2 cards. Okay? It's made up of 2 cards. Boop-a-doop, boop. There you can see one. There we go. It's a little better. In the base game, the standard way to play it is with 3 map cards, although there is a short version of the base game that you can play with 2 cards as well. But I wanted to kind of show you these map cards a little bit because you'll see these hexes have different colors on them and some different numbers at the bottom. And when we're actually playing the game, it probably is going to be zoomed out a little bit too much for you to see some of those numbers, but I wanted to just kind of show them to you here. Those are different types of terrain that are going to cost a different amount of my life points as the wizard to get through. If you listen closely, folks, you might hear the very pitiful wailings of the Dice Tower cat Pippin outside my door. This cat has learned how to open the doors in my house. And so I've had to lock the door because when he comes into this room, I've mentioned this before, but in case you haven't heard and just think I'm being cruel to animals, which I would never be. I love animals. I love Pippin. But he can't be trusted. He does not have the requisite amount of willpower to enter this room, because then what he does is when he enters this room, first of all, he'd jump up here on the table immediately. It would be a complete catastrophe. But he also likes to go into the closet of this room, which is just jam-chock full of acoustic tiles. Now, this is a cat that I cannot, we have 2 bathrooms. We can't put the toilet paper on the roll in our bathrooms because this cat will shred it. Shred it. And acoustic tile, it's like a ball pit for Pippin. He's going to go in there. He is going to thrash, destroy, rip it all to shreds. So I know you may hear him and you may feel sorry for him, but do not feel sorry for Pippin because he's gaslighting all of you. He's doing just fine. He's out there with like fresh tuna, and this cat eats much better than I do. Let me just put it to you that way. All right, back to the game. Unreliable Wizard. So this is a game that has a little bit of story behind it. And so what I want to do is just put up the story for first Unreliable Wizard, which is the base game. Let me just show you that. All right. The Demon Lord's minions have captured the princess. A band of heroes set out to rescue her, but they have been captured themselves. The king has now turned to the great mage for help, but he's fallen ill. The task has fallen to you, the wizard's apprentice. You may lack the wisdom of the great mage, but you have the will. Can you free the heroes, defeat the demon lord, and rescue the princess? Oh, well, can you? Potentially you can. Let's assume that I have defeated the Dark Lord Terra here, which you can see this lovely acrylic piece. All right, that's Terra. So let's assume that I had defeated him in the base game, right? Okay. That's a pretty big leap, right? Suspend your disbelief for a moment. Assume I won the base game. Now we would come to the expansion, which takes place 6 months later. 6 months after defeating the Demon Lord Terra. Everyone believed peace was here to stay. However, one of the 6 spirit kings who protect the balance of the world was eliminated. Furthermore, someone disintegrated the other spirits, turning them into demons. Without the spirits, the world will collapse. The group of heroes who were sent to investigate has gone missing. Once again, it's up to you, the wizard, to save your old friends and the world. Now, you notice here, it doesn't say the wizard's apprentice. So let's assume that I've become a full-fledged wizard after defeating Lord Terra. Let's just make that assumption. And again, please suspend your disbelief. All right. So that's kind of the backstory here. We've got a lot of stuff in here with cats. Okay, Chris. Question, Mike. Is this a roguelike, a roguelite, or a rouge game? That is a very pertinent question, Chris. What would I call this? I would call this a no idea. Solo game. I don't think you would call this a roguelike. I don't think that's true. I know you were kind of joking on this question, but I'm going to pose the question to all of you. How about that? I want to pose the question to all of you watching this. After you've seen me play the game, and maybe even after you've seen me play a couple of turns, let me know what kind of game you would describe this as, huh? All right. I'm going to put it on you. Why should I do all the work? Come on. Earn your keep. All right. Here we go. So, the basic idea behind this game is that I, as the wizard here, with my little piece, maybe I'll put him this way so you can kind of see him. He won't fit on the hexes because he's laid flat, but you'll get the general idea. I'm going to be traveling throughout the land here, and I'm going to be trying to find and defeat these nasties out here who have captured friends of mine, my companions. And I'm going to be battling. I'm going to be having some encounters. These black cards that you see around the map here are 5 different encounters. In the base game, I believe there are 8. Again, longer map, all right? But this balances that by having the way that the battle works. It makes it scale well. You have to take my word for that, all right? So I'm going to be having some encounters with the ultimate goal of going to this tower right here and facing off again against the evil Lord Terra, okay? So that's my plan, because these spirits that I'm defeating here, hopefully, assuming I can defeat any of them, these spirits here will help me in that final battle versus Terra because I've released them. And so now they're going to help me in battle when I face off against the final boss here, Lord Terra. So, would you call this a boss battler? I don't know. Again, you tell me. Yes. Oh. Jason Dunham asks, no buble today? The sparkling water? Is Mike back on the wagon? Well, again, I don't appreciate the inference there. And note, I kept looking at the microphone again. No, this is just regular water. Now, I will tell you, this has gone through a rigorous filtration process via Brita, right? I don't know if you've heard of Brita. It uses space-age polymers to remove all the deadly, deadly poison out of tap water and leave it to be a lovely, potable drink. So here's to you, folks. Potable water. All right, no buble today. I need to be at my hydrated most. All right, here we go. No one believes me. They all think that I drink adult beverages at noon. Do you think that I could have this visage were I drinking hard liquor at noon? Please. Okay, here we go. There's been a lot of preamble, but let's get to the good stuff here. So, over here, you're going to see a couple of things. This is a life tracker and a crystal tracker, okay? So, on the right side of this card are my life points. I'm going to start with 30 of them. And on the left side of the card is going to be tracking my crystals. I will start with 5. That's why that one is in blue. All right, let me see if I can get that a little bit more in focus. There we go. And I'll be able to use those crystals for certain things, which I'll show you in a moment. And obviously, I don't want to run out of life points, because if I do, I lose. Here's the crystal card. Now, I'm going to be playing this on the standard difficulty. All right, there we go. Which is telling me that I can spend, whenever I want to, 3 crystals to gain 1 life point, okay? Or I could spend 12 crystals to get an additional card, okay, which I will explain in a moment. And then at the bottom, it has some information about the final battle that I will talk about when that time becomes pertinent. Now, I want to show you on the other side, it is the easy mode. So you can see you only need to spend 2 crystals for a life point and 8 crystals for an extra card, okay? I will play the standard side. You also see here that the thing that keeps track of my life points is also my beginning grimoire, my spell book, okay? And it says the amount of damage that a particular attack is going to do against my enemy. So if I have a top orange card, that would do 2 base attacks. Sorry, I'm going out of focus there a little bit. And I start the game with these 3 base cards, the top green, the top blue, and the top orange, all right? I have 2 cards that were dealt face down. I'm going to reveal those in a second to see what else I start with. These 3 cards here were, again, I don't know what they are, but those are the ones I'd be spending 12 crystals to get, all right? Is this a review, a playthrough, or both? This is a playthrough. I've already reviewed the base game, all right? So this is just a playthrough here. Alrighty. Okay. So the different spells are going to be what I'm casting to attack. There we go. Attack these nasties. At the bottom of each of these encounters are also one of these cards. Now, the cards are going to be made up generally of one of 2 things. They're going to be made up of other spells, other spell cards that I can put together to make increasingly more powerful spells. And they are also going to be made up of traveling companions that I have found and maybe, help me in my journeys there. Are Mike's hands shaking? They probably are a little bit. Yeah, look at that. A little bit of shaking because I did not get a chance. I've been busy this morning. I didn't get a chance to eat lunch before here. So I'm running on kind of fumes. I did have a bit of a beginning of this Cliff bar, this Builder's Protein bar, right? This stream not sponsored by Cliff. But that's why I'm a little shaky, because I should have eaten. But you're my priority. Look, I don't need to eat. I need to entertain. Okay. So we got this. I'm beginning to realize the mistake that was chewing a very dense energy bar. But here we go. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reveal what these 2 cards and see what I have to work with. Will I have some companions at the beginning of the game? Will I have some more spell cards to draw from? Here we go. Here's the first one. Oh, this is pretty awesome. This is the princess. There we go. This is the princess. These companion cards are 2-sided, and they basically are going to give you 2 different powers. Now, again, in the version that's going to be on, or that's on crowdfunding right now, this is all in English. So right now you're seeing the Japanese version of the game, but they're going to be in English. So I've got a couple options here. One of the options on this princess is at the end of the battle, the Demon Lord loses 2 life points. All right. That's only going to be in effect when you get to the final battle. The other one is only lose 2 life points when drawing magic cards. And that's what I'm going to do. I will explain why I like that one. All right. Okay. So that is going to be now a companion that I add down here to my skill card. Okay. I've got a princess that's helping me with this power. If I'd chosen the other side, it would also give me some attacking power in each of the 3 types of the schools of magic. All right. But I chose the more powerful power, and it doesn't give me any attacking bonus there. Okay. So that was my first one. Let's see what my second one is here. Whoa, I got 2 companions. That is pretty rare, actually. I don't usually start, a lot of times I don't start with any companions. So this is the paladin. Okay. What this paladin does, and these are proxies that I printed out, is that I can move in the maze areas, which are the purple locations, for 1 life point. Normally, these are pretty expensive to get into. They're 3 for all of them. So if I wanted to choose that side of it, I can go into any of those for 1. But I think instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose whoop, this side here, which for these types of enemies, at the beginning of any battle with those types of enemies, I reduce their health counter by 2, and I'm going to get some pretty nice attack bonuses. So I'm going to slot that right there. So right now what you see is I have a base in any attack, in any battle, I have a base of 1 green attack and 2 blue attack. That's without adding any of my spell cards. All right. So 2 companions to start off with. That is nice. Do all companions start with P? Yes. You've got the paladin. You've got the P-monk or the P-monk. Shout out to George Clinton. You've got the porcupine. You've got the princess, and you've got the hero. You've got the hero, but with a silent P. All right? No, they do not all start with companions, but most of them do, and I not noticed that till just now, Loopy. Fantastic. All right, I'm hydrated. I'm ready to go. Look, I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's get going. All right. Yeah, stack the deck before filming. Like I've got that kind of thought process, that kind of forward thinking, Bruce. I think you should know better than that. All right. So I've got my 3 starting cards. I'm right here. And my thought is I want to go to this tower first. Okay, I want to go to this tower first. Let me just kind of show it to you. You'll see that it has a couple of numbers, a 1 on the left and a 2 on the right. That is telling me how many of these fragment cards I'm going to need to add to this enemy. I have to do at least 1 and can do up to 2. All right. Is the Kickstarter in English? It's Game Found, and yes, it's in English and Spanish. They've got 2 different there, but the one you're looking at is the one that I bought a while back. That is in Japanese. All right. Although there are English words sprinkled throughout. And I do have some proxy stuff that I had printed out. All right. So my thought is I want to go there and I want to face off in my first encounter. So I start here. It takes 1 to go through these planes. So I will reduce my health by 1. I'm going to take me another 1 to go there. So I'll reduce that. I'm now down to 28. And I'm going to go to this tower. Now, it doesn't cost me anything to go in there, but I'm going to have my first encounter. So you get to see how that works. So the battle area is going to be over here. All right. We'll kind of see how this plays out. I love this battle system. I think it's very, very cool. So I'm encountering this one. So let's see what we've got here. This is the body of this enemy. You can see it shows the bottom half. All right. We put this right here. Okay. Couple of things we're going to see is their defense against a particular school of magic. In this case, it has 1 defense against the orange school of magic. So we put that right there. Now, before I put the head of that creature on, I have to choose between 1 and 2 of these fragment cards. So let's put the first one out. All right. And you can see you're starting to build an enemy here. All right. This one now has added another defense against orange, 1 defense against green. So far, it's undefended against blue, but I have a feeling the top might have a defense on that. So do I play it safe and only start with 1 fragment card? The reason why I would choose not to is because the more fragment cards you add, the more benefits you'll get when you win the battle. All right. Oh gosh, but I'm going to play this first one safe and just put 1 fragment card in there. All right. Now I'm going to be adding the head of this creature. And again, these were all randomly chosen, although the top and the bottom happen to be the same here. That just worked out that way. All right. So what this is telling me, first of all, is a couple of things that we get when we look at this creature in whole. All right. We know that it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 life points. All right, which I'll put this little card right up here to denote their life points. We also know that it has 4 defense against orange magic. So orange magic is not good. No bueno for me in this battle. I'm basically even on green because I attack one extra and it defends one extra, but blue is where I have the advantage. So I have some advantage in blue, all right? So I'm hoping to draw this blue card in this battle, all right? So what I'm going to do now is go through this battle flow here. So it says to activate abilities of these three particular companions first if you have them. The Paladin, the Paladin, the Mork, the Paladin and the Mork. Nanu. The Paladin, the Monk, and the Porcupine. All right, well, I do have none of those. Oh, no, I do have the Paladin. And what he says is these types of creatures will do -2. You know what? I lucked out. This is the same type of creature. So at the very beginning, before the battle even starts, I've knocked him down 2 life points. That's really lucky because it was going to attack me for 9 if it ended on the first 2 spots there. So that's very fortuitous here as well. I do not read Japanese, unfortunately. I wish I did, but, oh, there it is. But I do use Google Translate on my phone. The camera, that's pretty fantastic. I can just, hold my camera up to one of the cards and it will tell me. I can't now because I'm using my phone as the top-down camera, but in most cases I can do that. But like I said, I've gotten translated. The rules have been released completely in English now because they're on the GameFound page. All right, so now I'm going to draw a number of magic spell cards between 1 and 4. You have to draw at least 1. You can draw a maximum of 4. All right, I only have these 3 to begin with. So I can choose 1, 2, or all 3 of these cards to be in my deck. Then I need to choose how many I'm actually going to draw for an attack. The number that I draw for an attack is going to be the amount of life points that I lose. I do have the princess here, which means that no matter how many cards that I draw, I'll only lose 2 life points. Now, that's not helping me much right now, but as I get more cards and I'm building bigger magic decks and I want to draw more cards, that's going to be a very helpful ability for me. So, really at this point, the only card that I don't want is orange, okay? Because orange will do nothing for me. Green and blue will at least do a little bit, all right? This is not an easy enemy that I faced first off. I'm glad I didn't draw a second fragment is all I'm saying. So what you do then is I've chosen my deck of 3, all right? And I chose that I'm going to draw 2. And so I'm going to lose my life points for that 2. I'm at 26 now. And then I'm going to shuffle these cards up. All right. Just checking here. Are the board games in the back of Mike his own? They are indeed. All right. I'm drawing 2. What I don't want is orange. Watch this first card. Oh, it's not. It's green. Okay. That's good. If this is blue, hey, that's pretty good. That's exactly what I wanted. So now we're going to add up the amount of damage that I would do, and then obviously figuring in the amount of defense they have. So the base level of a blue attack, a green attack, and an orange attack is 2. All right. So I start with a base of 2. So let's do green first. So 2 plus 1, but they block 1. So I did 2 damage with green. Breep, breep. Okay. Then blue is a base of 2, 3, 4. They block 1, so I do 3. I did pretty well. 1, 2, goodbye! He's dead. All right. So that worked out very well for me. If I had not drawn these 2 cards, I certainly would have been attacked back. When they attack back, they're going to attack based upon where their life points are. Okay. So that's a nice start. I will take that all day, air day. Okay. So now that I've done that, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to disassemble this creature that I have destroyed and get any associated boons. All right, so this I'm going to put right here. This doesn't have any boons on it, but I'm going to keep it for later when I'm facing that final monster. Here, this tells me I gained 2 crystals. All right, so I'm going to go up to 7 crystals there. This says I gain 1 crystal, so I'm going to get 1 more. I'm at 8 crystals. This is my other card there. And then this is going to go right here, okay? Again, I'm saving these for later in the game. Now, I also get whatever this random card is. Oh, shoot, was I at 26? I think I was at 26. I'm going to move this further over. Well, no, I won't be going down there anymore. Let's see what I got. Oh, I got the other orange. Okay, so what this tells me is that, oops, I should be turned around. I have the top and the bottom orange. My grimoire says that if I can get the top and the bottom orange drawn, that will be a 4-point attack. All right, that's pretty good. Pretty good. I like it. Okay, first battle down, and I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy. Okay, so here's what I'm a-thinking. Do I go this way and battle this tower? Do I go this way and battle this tower? So this is a minimum 2 fragment with a max of 4. This is a minimum 3 fragment with a max of 4. So this is the more difficult encounter. All right, there's just no question about it. So I will go this away. If I move here, that's -3. Because there I'm moving through the volcano area. Very difficult for me. Oh. Do I pull a Rado and go, oh, but I could, instead I could, I'm thinking maybe I want to go up there and get my white staff. Okay, so in the game, there is a staff and a robe. This is only in the expansion, all right? And the white robe and the white staff is here. The black robe and the black staff is here. Now, you can go onto the map to get both of them. So right here is the white staff, and if I get it all the way up there, that's the white robe. The black staff is here, and the black robe is there. The only thing about getting the white staff is that that's also one of the potential benefits that you could gain from these cards. I think there's 1 white staff somewhere in here. So that might be a wasted one. But instead, I think I'm gonna change. Yeah. I'm gonna change my mind. Nope. I'm gonna stay with that 3, and I'll just lose another one to get my white staff, which is going to give me a particular power, which is there in the upper left. It's in Japanese, but it means that once when I'm drawing magic cards, I can get like 1 reshuffle and draw. And it also helps me in orange and green magic. So I'm going to put that at the bottom because this staff will stay with me when I go against Terra. My companions will not. All right, there's some kind of corrupted magic in that final tower that means that I have to go alone. All right, but now I've got myself a white staff. Knights in white staff. All right, and now I'm going to go over here. So there's another 2 in the ocean there, another 1 in the plains. And so I need to lose 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm sitting at 19 health. Not great. But remember, I could spend 3 crystals to get an extra life point if I need to. All right? And so things are going to ramp up a little bit because I have to draw at least 2 fragment cards. So let's get into this battle right now. I did not use that +5, and that's important because you can only use these once a game. That just adds 5 to your life. This adds 6, 7, 8, 6, but you can only use them once, all right? So I deliberately chose to save that so that if I go back this way, it will help me. All right, here we go. Here's the body of this creature. Looks a little bit like a cauldron. You know, it's like a cauldron monster. All right, minimum 2, maximum 4 fragments. So here we go. We're building this guy. Okay, so he is blocking orange there. The body was blocking green. I have to do at least one more. Ooh, this adds to orange. Ooh, very interesting. Blue is still in the clear. I have to do one more, right? No, I can stop here if I want to. So it's a kind of a risky thing here. If I can get both of these oranges right now, I'd be doing 4, 5, 6 and blocking 1. I'd be doing 5 damage if I was able to do that, which is good. So I'm wondering if I should do one more. That could be a killer. Let's say I draw a fragment card and it blocks 2 orange and one blue, and then the head is even more. I'm playing it safe. I'm playing it safe because I want to get to that final boss and then lose in crushing fashion. All right, so I'm going to stop with those 2 fragment cards, putting the head of the creature. All right, so he's blocking 1 more orange, and he's blocking 4 total green. So green I don't want. Green is nothing. It's garbage. Blue's good. Orange is real good. So let's build my deck of 4. Green's okay. It's not great. I would get 1 hit of damage on him because my green is 2, 3, 4, 5, and they block 4. So if I get a green, that's all right. I want both oranges. I really want both oranges. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a deck of 4, which is the maximum I can do. And I'm going to draw 3. Because of the princess, I'm only going to lose 2 life points. Normally, I would have to lose 3 life points because you have to lose a life point for every card that you draw, to every card you cast as your spell. But the princess allows me to cast as many cards as I want for 2. All right, so I'm drawing 3. Let me shuffle these. Gots to shuffle. The only thing crashing is your blood sugar. This is true, Mike. This is true. All right, here we go. I want, out of this draw of 3, I want 2 orange and I want a blue. 2 orange, 1 blue. Remembering that now, with my white staff, I can do a shuffle and redraw. Here we go. Okay, the one I didn't want was green, so unless I get 2 oranges here, I'm likely to use the power of the staff and redraw. Yeah, boom and boom. So if I kept this, let's just say if I kept this, I would have 2, 3, 4, so it would be 2 there. This would actually be 4, so that would be 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I would do 8 with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I may not have to redraw. Let's double check my casting skills, right? So my green is a base of 2. I add 3 here. So 2, 3, 4, 5. They block 2. They block 4, so that's 1. So let's say I did that. Boop. My blue is 2, 3, 4. They don't block any of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to move these up here. And then my orange gives me 2, 3, 4. They block 2. Oh, I think I'm 1 off. 1, 2. And then I'd get rocked for 7. So I think I was off there. So I'm going to redraw. Use my white staff power. And see if I can redraw in a more beneficial fashion. Here we go. Let's go. Come on, baby. We want 2 orange. There's the top. That's a good start. There's a top blue. I want a bottom orange. And I got it. Boop, boop, boop. All right. So with that 4 that I'm doing for my level 2 orange spell, that is 4, 5, 6. So 6 on orange. They're blocking 2, so that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now with my blue, I've got 2, 3, 4 with no block. 1, 2, 3. Kapow! Kapow, I say! That's not bad. That's not bad. Now, I did go with the easiest route and only drew 2 fragment cards, okay? Which will hurt me in the final battle. The more fragment cards you defeat, the better you're set up for that final battle. But I'm just, like I said, I want to try to last as long as I can so you get an idea on how the game works. So first thing I do is this creature tells me when I defeat it, I recover 3 life. So 20, 21, 22. All right. Then I'm going to go through the boons I get. So this gives me 1 crystal. So I'm up to 9. This gives me 1 crystal. I'm up to 10. And this gives me 2 crystals. I'm up to 12. So at this point, if I wanted to spend all of my crystals, I could get one of these 3 cards to add to my hand there. But I don't think I'm going to do that now because I want to make sure I'm okay on life points. All right. So first 2 were successful. Let's see what I get. Oh, I got the hero, Silent P hero. So his battles are, he can go anywhere for 1 life point. So ignoring the cost of the different terrains, or he can, at the end of every battle, all enemies lose 1 life point. Battle meaning the card draw. Okay. So I think I like doing the one where at the end of every battle turn, all enemies are going to lose 1 life point. Okay. Oh, I got those 2, right? I think I did. Yeah. So that goes there. All right. So I'm going to use this one. It gives me no help in battle, but it also doesn't give defense because the other side is a stronger power, but it gives defense to any creature you would encounter. All right. Let's just take a little mid-game pause here and look. I'm at 22 life points. I'm at 12 crystals. I've got 4 magic cards. I have 3 companions and my staff. All right. Yeah, you're right, Chris. I probably need to be more clear to you all when I'm drawing the right cards because I'm so stoic and emotionless that you'd never be able to tell. I will take that keep that in mind, all right? I'm just looking back to make sure. A lot of neat elements to this game. I highly agree, Bruce. All right. Not a lot of comments. I'm assuming that's because you're enthralled and entranced with what's happening on the table. So let's go. I'm going to go over here. Now, if I wanted to, I can go right to the final boss. That'd be stupid. All right. So, -1. Boop. -3. 1, 2, 3. I'm now at 18. +5. Boop, 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 boop. Back to 23. And then I'm losing 2 there. So I'm at 21. And I'm going up against this creature here. All right. This one I have to draw 3 at least. This will likely be my toughest challenge yet because there's a level 2 spellbook you can get. There's also a gray card that I have not found yet. I'm wondering if it's in one of these 3. My thought is I don't want to get a card now because if I get defeated in this monster, that would be terrible. But I might draw the card if I defeat this one, I might use crystals to draw one of these cards to go into my final battle. Because I don't know if I'm going to go for either of those. I think it's going to depend on how I do here. All right, so let's just get into it. Here we go. So here is the bottom creature. All right. He's got 1 defense against blue. I have to draw 3 fragment cards at least, and potentially 4. All right, so this has a defense against orange. Oh, there's the white staff. This has a defense against blue. So this one is wasted, but it's fine. And then one more. This has a defense against orange. So there's 2 defense against orange, 2 against blue, and none against green. So that's 3 fragments. I think I will stop there and deal with the head of this creature. Oh yeah, look at that. It has 5 total defense against orange. So orange is not great for me, which is unfortunate because that's my strongest spell, is the level 2 orange attack. My green is probably, maybe the tops, no, because if I did 4 or 5, they block 5. So yeah, orange does nothing for me. That is unfortunate. Okay, so let's go here. I don't want orange. I want green and blue at this point. Green and blue are the only things that's going to do any damage. So this is going to be a tough one. So I will make my hand of these 3, the top of all 3. So my 3 basic spell cards are what I'm going to be going with, which is not great up against a creature of this magnitude. Oh, one other really cool thing. I don't know if it would read top to bottom or bottom to top, but when you build these creatures, they create a unique name because there are some letters and some Japanese characters that if you can read them, you'd be able to say it. But if it goes top to bottom, it looks like it says Kusimowar. So that's a really neat little element of the game too, is that they build unique creatures with unique names. All right, neat little thing there. I'm imagining these color spells have actual names. You know, I don't know if they do. Let me see if they refer to them in a thematic way. They call them basic magic cards and advanced magic cards. They call them schools of magic, but I don't think that they name them. So you can name them, I suppose. I mean, that might be fun. If you're playing it yourself, you can give them your own names. Let me get back to a question I asked you a moment ago. Well, about 40 moments ago. How would you describe this game? It's not easy. I was like, is it kind of like a dungeon crawler almost? Maybe, sort of, kind of? I don't know. Boss battler-ish? I don't know. All right. So I have these 3 cards. I need to shuffle them up. I'm drawing 2, so I need to lose my 2 life points before I forget that. Goodness knows I don't want to forget that. Deck builder, sort of. Yeah, kind of. Kind of, sort of. All right, here we go. We're drawing 2. I would like green and blue, please. And I get an orange. I will redraw this, I think, because this would only give me 2, 3, 4. Well, that does 4. But nothing else. If I had the green and the blue, if I had drawn this, I'd have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, yeah, no. I want to redraw it using my staff power. I'm going to redraw again. I can't do any worse than that, right? It's rogue light, Loopy says. You think? Bruce says, all of these creatures are named after 90s wrestling finishers. The jackknife powerbomb, the sharpshooter. The people's elbow. That was, the Attitude Era was by far the worst era of wrestling, of professional wrestling. It's the bottom line. All right, here we go. Drawing the 2. Green is good. Come on, blue. Give me blue. And the staff failed me. Failed me, I say. So I think I ended up doing 4, right? Because the orange gives me nothing. The green gives me 2, 3, 4. Yep, so I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is terrible. I ended on the one spot here that loses me, well, there's two, but only one spot if you end on here, you lose 9 life points. And that's where I was. There's another one at the very end, but that is very, very unfortunate. So I'm losing 9 life points. I hope I don't have to use any crystals. All right. I ended right there. All right. So 19, losing 9 would get me to 10. Oof, that's brutal. 10 health. 10 health. Blame it on the staff. Just like my manager, right? Yep. That's what I'm going to do. Look, I can only show you how to do things. It's up to you to actually carry out my instructions. Bert. All right. I certainly didn't work in retail for over 20 years. Actually, not quite that long. All right, here we go. I got to try it again. All right, here we go. I don't want to lose on this one. I'm drawing 2. There's green. Green is good. Orange is bad. Okay, I'm going to use my staff again because this is a different battle turn. I think you need more health. You think? You think? I think too. I need more health. All right. So here we go. Drawing 2. Oh, I have to pay 2 again. Green, good. Blue, good. Okay. Hopefully this gets me beyond that 9 because that would not be great. All right, so green I said did 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm fine. Blue does 2. Actually, it wasn't that. It was close. All right, but I did defeat it. Mike, how have I not thought about this before? Wizard needs food badly. From the classic arcade game Gauntlet. All right. Yeah, right. Maybe I'm going to see if I can feed the wizard. Eat up. Here's your Cliff Bar. Nom, 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 nom. Wizard hates the Cliff Bar. All right. So I recover 4 health. That gets me back up to 10. Look, I'm feeling really good going in against the big bad. I also got to get way up there to beat the big bad or to even face him. Okay. So I got that. This goes here. I get 1 more crystal. I'm at 13. Okay, I get the staff, which unfortunately doesn't help me there. I get 2 more crystals, so I'm at 15. And I get 1 more crystal, so I'm at 16. 16 crystals, 10 health, okay. And I'm going to put this here. All right. People are giving me grief about my choice of Cliff Bar. This is not chocolate. Someone was saying it was chocolate. No, this is vanilla almond. Vanilla almond's not bad. It's not like a chicken parm sandwich or anything, but it's not bad. Okay, so I got those boons. Now I'm going to get this, which, oh, yeah, the porcupine. So this one has 2. You can move in oceans, which are these blue ones, for 1 life point. But I don't think I'm going to be going through any ocean. So instead, I'm going to do that this particular type of enemy loses 2 at the beginning of battle. I actually probably should have checked that on that last card. I don't think I even checked that ability, so not smart. Okay, so here's the side. It's also going to help me in orange and in blue. All right. Here we go. I think that at this point, this is my other card that I just didn't happen to use. I've got these. I've got a fair number of those. Okay. 3, 1. Here's what I'm gonna do. Okay. I'm going to spend 3 life points here, gets me down to 7, to get 4 crystals, which puts me to 20. Then I'm going to spend 1 life point there. Then I'm going to go here for 8 life points. So that puts me at 14, right? 8 and 6 is 14. Then I'm going to go here for 2 life points. Whip, whip. I'm going to go here for 3 life points. Whip, whip, whip. And then I'm going to get ready to go into that final battle. But first, I'm going to spend all my crystals because my crystals will not do anything for me in the final battle except heal me life. So why not just get that life now? It's the same exact thing. So I'm first going to buy 1 card. Okay, I'm going to buy 1 card, which is going to cost me 12. So that puts me to 8. Oh man, that stinks. If I had 1 more crystal, I could get a card and 3 life points. But instead, I'm going to get a card and hope this is a good one. Okay, the bottom blue. That's not bad. I kind of would have liked the gray card, but that could be there, that could be there, that could be in one of those two. All right. So as much as Bruce likes to intimate that I know what the cards are, I have no clue. Obviously, I would have done better. All right. So that was 12. That puts me to 8. And I can spend 6 to get me 2 more points. So I'll have 2 crystals and a life point of 11. Now, you might say, Mike, you're foolhardy to go into battle against Lord Terra with but 12 life points, and you're going to be losing your companions. Well, you'd be right, but also it's not quite that dire. Let me show how this final battle against Lord Terra goes. So, since I'm not using this crystal card anymore, I can just show you. Remember I told you I'd come back to this in the final fight. So, you're going to gain life points based upon what companions you leave behind, and 1 life point for every 3 of these fragment cards you've collected throughout the game. All right, so I am going to be getting more life points. So, first of all, I've got the princess, which is worth 3 life points. I've got the hero, which is worth 1. I've got the paladin, which is worth 1. And I've got the porcupine, which is worth 1. So 3, 4, 5, 6 life points there. That gets me up to 17. Okay? And they have to go bye-bye. It's been nice knowing y'all. I can understand why you don't want to be in the final battle against Terra. It's not going to get pretty. All right. Then I get 1 life point for every 3 of these I've collected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, at least it's a multiple of 3. I would have been mad if it wasn't. I get 2 points there. So I'm going into battle against Lord Terra with 19 life points. You've never played this game before, likely. Does that sound like a good number to go in against a final boss? You're right, it's not. Okay, but there's still more yet. There's still more. And this is really cool. All of this stuff I'm doing right here is unique to the expansion, okay? You still have a battle against Lord Terra, but the stuff that we're doing here is a little bit different and pretty cool in my opinion. So now we're going to be building, like we built these other creatures, we're going to be building this final form of Lord Terra, and it'll be different every time you play the game. First thing that you're going to do is you are going to try to put together any matching heads and bodies that you have created of spirits that you defeated before, okay? So here I've got this one, and this one. Here, I'll put it down here. That way I can just put that back up. All right, so I've got these 3 bodies of creatures, right? And these are the heads of the creatures, is that right? No, these are the bodies. These are the heads. Okay, so that, what am I doing? Is it like this? Should be, oh, it's like this. Dummy! So that actually is a match. this is a match with this one. And let's see if this is a match. It is! That's great. I lucked out there. I lucked out. That means that all three of these formerly defeated spirits are going to help me in battle. All right? So what I do is, let me just make sure I'm not missing a step here in this final Lord Terra battle. Or, no, it's sorry. It's called Z Terra. You're facing off against Z Terra. All right? So I've done that. Okay, here we go. We put the Demon Terra's body here, okay? So you can see, oh yeah, it says Terra. That's awesome. Okay, I didn't even notice that before. So you must read top to bottom. So this gives a base 2 resistance against every magic school that I have, okay? So that's there. Then I am going to check for the defeated body cards, looking for the matching ones. These are going to be my allies. So I rotate the body card of each of these so that they are now like this. And they're helping me. That's giving me 1 in blue. This is giving me 1 in orange. This is giving me 1 in orange and green. Okay. My soul Cliff Bar is making it hard for me to do this without shaking my hands. Okay. So there's the spirit that are helping me. All right. And then we've got the top. Because this doesn't look too bad, right? I mean, look, hey, I'm actually up 1 on orange. I'm even in green. I'm down 1 in blue. That's not too bad. Yoink. Here we go. So here is this final form of Z Terra. So the top card says Z, the bottom card says Terra. So this is the Z Tourney Terra. Z Tourney Terra. Or is that an A? Oh, Z-Tan Terra. Z-Tan Terra. That's an A. All right. You're now decorating your body with the corpses of your enemies. I don't think it's exactly like that because it's not. This isn't my body. This is Z Terra's body. Now Z Tanny Terra's body. All right. So, this first of all has a lot of life points, right? A lot of life points there. Let's just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 16 life points. I have 19 life points. It ain't looking good, folks. It ain't looking good, but we're going to try because we're a wizard. You know, we're going to make it happen. I still have 1 redo by for each battle turn, but now I have lost the princess's ability to allow me to only spend 2 life points per card. So I'm going to be building a deck up to 4. I can't go any higher than 4. Let's see what my best attack is. So if I do a double orange attack, that's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7 minus 4. So my level 2 orange is a 3. My level 1 green is 2, 3, 4. So this is nothing. Green gives me nothing. Blue gives me 4, 5 minus 4. So my double blue gives me 1 attack. My orange is the best because that gives me 7 minus 4 gives me 3. So I really want the double orange. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry into battle both oranges, the top blue, and perhaps the top green. No, I'm just going to draw these 3. Both oranges and a blue, and I'm going to draw 2. Not much of a chance here, but I'm going to do it. So first, My life points go down to 17. Here we go. Here we go. I really need 2 oranges. 2 oranges. 2 oranges. Here we go. 2 oranges. Watch, the first one's going to be the blue. No. All right. This reverse, psychology is working. Come on, orange, 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 orange. No! So I'm going to use the staff ability, give it one more chance. Mike Heller's on fire here. I brought a white stick to a gunfight. That is very, very correct. All right. I gotta hydrate before using the staff. All right. I'm imbuing my magic deck with the power of the highly filtrated water. Here we go. 2 orange, baby. There's a bottom. Can I get a top? No, I can't. I'm going to get wrecked. All right. Nothing on that because that gives me 3. They block 4. However, they do 8 damage to me. That sucks. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I may have one more go at this. All right. One more go. I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to deck of 3, draw 2. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's go. 2 orange. Let me get 1. Let me get 1 level 2 orange spell. Can you give me that? Can I get that? There's the bottom orange. Come on, baby. Staff. Now I'm really annoyed at my companions, right? Why? I know that there's some kind of corrupted magic that doesn't let them come in, but like, couldn't you like scale the walls and come in a window or something? I mean, it's not just the front door. Staph infection. That's Bruce. I'm not gonna encourage that type of behavior. All right, come on. Let me get that double orange. Let me get that double orange. Here we go. Oh wait, is this my staff? This is my staff. Yeah. Top orange. I've not done it once. I think that's going to do it for me because I did no damage to him. He's doing 8 damage to me. I am at 7. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the end of my journey here as the Unreliable Wizard. Yeah. Look, we got to Terra. We did what we could. But most of all, we had each other. Am I right? We had each other. All right. Well, hopefully that gives you a nice idea on what this game is about. I think it does some really neat things for a very, very small, like this is the deck for the expansion, right? It says 32 cards, 1 player. And this is the deck for the base game. These are both tiny games. 32 cards here as well, right? Now, I will mention that there will be more, slightly more, like maybe 1 more card in the Salt and Pepper edition. They're adding another princess. So you get to choose before the game which princess you want to play the game with. And the boxes look different. You can see the boxes there in the upper left of the screen. So I don't know if they're going to be tuck boxes like these or if they're going to be lidded boxes. I don't know that yet. Maybe they say it on the campaign page, but I don't remember if they did. But with not that many cards and not a huge amount of table space, honestly, and quickly playing, because obviously I was dragging this out. I wanted to, make the most of the experience. But if you're just focused on playing the game, you can get through this very quickly, especially if you do poorly. But even with getting, to that final boss, you can play a game in a very reasonable amount of time once you've played it a few times, and assuming you're not, trying to ham it up on live chat a little bit. So there you go. That is Unreliable Wizard with the Unstable Towers expansion. Hopefully you enjoyed the playthrough, even if the game is not up your alley. Hopefully you had a good time just hanging out with chat and watching me make a fool of myself, as I tend to do. But that's going to do it for live stuff today, I believe. Maybe if Chris is still here, he can remind me. I can look on the schedule, can't I? Let's look on the schedule. Yes, that is going to do it for live stuff this week, basically. But there's still a lot of things going on, still a lot of things happening. Go back and check Graham's review of a game that I've never heard of. Rewatch Chris's Q&A if you want to. And coming up at 3 p.m., I'm reviewing Amalfi Renaissance. So you might want to check that out. We've got 2 top 10s this weekend, too. Obviously pre-recorded. On Saturday, top 10 games with turn order manipulation. I believe that is a solo top 10 list from Chris. I do believe. He can correct me if I'm wrong. And then on Sunday, myself at 3 p.m. and somebody that's been all over this live chat, Bruce here. Bruce and I recorded a top 10 Grail games list. So Sunday at 3 p.m., you can catch that if you like. And, yeah, that's about it. I don't think I see anything here. Some very nice comments. I appreciate. Oh, Sky, you got in here just in time for the ending, which was, not my shining moment. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed. And, yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thank you once again, everybody, for all of your fantastic support for the Dice Tower and for this show, the DiLisio Factor. It has been my pleasure. Have a great ending of the week day and beginning of the weekend. Until next time, this is Mike DiLisio signing off from the Dice Tower Midwest Annex.